Hello, I'm Chuck Long, and on tonight's Entertainment Outlook, Tony Award-winning Broadway legend Betty Buckley is bringing the Tony Award-winning Best Musical Revival, Hello Dolly, to the Tennessee Performing Arts Center. Here with all the exciting details, TPAC's Christi Dortch, welcome. It's great to have you.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Love it when you're here, and especially tonight, we're talking Hello Dolly.
We are. What a classic.
I mean, let's just, start. I know that you program the Broadway series, so how often does a Tony Award winner like Betty Buckley go on the road with a tour like this?
It just doesn't happen much anymore. I mean, there's a couple of reasons for it. The biggest one, as I was sharing with you, is that touring's hard. It's really hard, and it takes a long time commitment to make the investment in a celebrity and all the marketing collateral to go out on the road. And the other piece of it is there's so much good work happening and new work, development, and so many shows in the pipeline that people don't really have to travel anymore. They can get their chance to be on great shows by being in New York, being in California. So to have somebody out on the road, especially Betty Buckley, is huge.
It really is. Now, for those, I know a lot of people know about Hello Dolly. It's been around for a long time. It's such a favorite show of so many. So kind of give us an overview, though, of Hello Dolly.
So the basics of Hello Dolly, and I've realized this in talking to some of our staff at TPAC, is that people don't know what a matchmaker is necessarily, but she's, one of my friends put it perfectly, she's Match.com with a face.
Oh, that's great.
That's basically what she's doing, is she's trying to set up the wealthy folks with perfect mates, and that's her job. That is actually her business card. And she ends up falling herself for one of her wealthy clients and spends most of the show trying to figure out how to not be a matchmaker, but to make herself a match.
Okay. When did you first see the revival of Hello Dolly?
Oh, gosh. So I saw the revival in New York a year and a half ago with Bet. And it was, I've seen Hello Dolly probably 10 times in my life, including with Carol Channing. So it's got some wonderful, beautiful memories for me. But this revival is such a beautiful homage to the original show, and the colors and the spectacle and the costumes, and just, it's so pretty. I found myself on the edge of my seat without even realizing it when I was in New York, and I see a lot of shows. I'm very fortunate.
You do.
So it takes a bit to get me on the edge of my seat, but it was so pretty. It was just so pretty.
Well, I even heard Betty Buckley say in an interview that when she saw the revival of Hello Dolly, she said it was the best piece of musical theater she had ever seen. I mean, that's saying a lot, too.
It has stood the test of time. That show is still everything it was the first time I saw it when I was, 8, 9 years old. Now,
the musical arrangements, kind of a new spin on some of the musical arrangements in the show?
Yeah, but I don't know how much you would really know that unless you're a hardcore fan. It's so they've added to the musical adaptation and spiced it up a little bit, but it's still that wonderful traditional music that you know.
Well, how do you think adding Betty Buckley to the overall bill of this show will add to the excitement of it coming to Music City?
Well, one, she's Broadway royalty. I'm a little nervous and butterflies in my stomach about her being in the building. But the other side of it is, Hello Dolly, that character is that is a very big role. It is a very big presence. And there are wonderful actors out there who could play it, but to have a Broadway legend playing that role, it's just going to be like this giant sunburst that walks on stage.
How would you and I know actors are, it's like, oh, I hope I'm not compared to so-and-so or so-and-so, but I mean, like you were saying, Carol Channing, Pearl Bailey, so many people, Bette Midler plays Streisand, in the film and that kind of thing. But Betty Buckley and Broadway royalty, but she also is such a deep commitment actor type too. What do you think she'll bring to the role that's different?
Wow. I'm hoping I'm right about this, but my gut tells me, because of her acting chops, that what she's going to bring to it is a depth of character rather than just a presence of character. And not that there's anything wrong with presence of character, that's what Dolly Levi is. But I think there's going to be more depth in her portrayal of that role.
Yeah. Now, I read recently that this revival and tour is being called the production of Hello Dolly to see in your lifetime. So what do you think is causing that kind of reaction?
I think the biggest thing is that it stood the test of time, other than not knowing what a matchmaker is. The music, the costumes, the style, the presentation, it just reminds you of what made Broadway musicals the amazing thing they are. You get to see a little bit of all these new musicals that people are aware of and that they're familiar with. You kind of understand oh, this sort of set the pace for what shows are today because it built that infrastructure and foundation.
Now, there's also a local connection.
Oh, yes.
What can you share about Anna Lisa Leeming, who's from Murfreesboro? She's in the cast.
She is. Go Murfreesboro. I actually had the pleasure of seeing her in School of Rock in New York, and she has quite the healthy resume. Honestly, I'm surprised that she's on the road. But she understudied Irene Malloy in New York when they were doing the revival, so I guess she just fell in love with it like everybody else and decided it was time to keep doing it.
Well, that'll be exciting. It's always nice when you have a hometown connection.
It's very nice.
It really is. Now, I want to make sure everybody gets the information because you're going to need to get your tickets. You're going to need to get them fast. There it is on your screens. Hello Dolly, April 30th through May 5th. Tickets on sale now at tpac.org. Can't stress enough, get the tickets now.
Yes.
These are hard to get. Now, don't want to let you go. We've got about a minute left. There's also another little show that's, I just saw recently they actually announced the dates.
Yes, we finally got to talk dates.
Okay, so tell me about what's this show, Hamilton?
Hamilton, yes, it's just this little thing that people are talking about. Yes, so we finally got to release our dates. We have the great luxury of we're opening on New Year's Eve.
Oh my gosh.
So we'll open December 31st, 2019, and we'll run for 3 weeks. We are so excited.
What are you hearing about? I know the subscribers, everybody. What are people saying now that there's a date released for this?
Yippee. I think that's pretty much, they're like, how do I get my tickets? How fast can I get my tickets? Yeah, it's the anticipation is fantastic.
All right, so again, this show, I tell you, is it the kind of thing, I know we've only got a few seconds left, but do you think you'll be able to bring it back in the near future?
Which one?
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I probably shouldn't say, but yeah, these kind of shows are automatically talking about returns before we ever even get to the first one. So yeah.
Okay. All right. So we'll see. We can't wait though to see Hello Dolly. So again, folks, get your tickets.
Yes,
Christi,
please.
always a pleasure to have you.
Good to see you.
All right. Well, that's all the time we have for this edition about Today. We'll see you next time. Good night.